Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have created this fun, vibrant makeup look using a beautiful bright lip and keeping it super natural on the eyes and just making it about mascara, no eyelashes, no eyeliner, and just kind of more of a flawless base but still natural looking. So if you want to see how I achieved this look, keep on watching. I'm just going to put some Emile Cordon lip balm on, get that soak in. It's actually the summer at the moment, but a lot of people suffer with dry lips during the winter, and a bold lip in the winter is a really great way to liven up your skin. But if you are suffering with dry lips, it's a good idea to use something like a lip exfoliant, like a scrub, and then a cotton bud, and just work that in just to get rid of any dead skin. Then apply a nice lip balm, allow that to soak in before you apply a lip product. So I just got a delivery from NYX. I just run downstairs and they've brought out a makeup prep range, which is ideal because I'm just about to start my face, so I might as well incorporate some of it and see what it's like. So this contains cannabis sativa seed oil. I guess it's probably going to have mixed reviews because some people are against anything with CBD, sativa seed oil. You'll see it everywhere now. So we've got a Bear With Me Hemp Radiant Perfecting Primer. I'm trying to read this in the mirror backwards. Brow setter and a lip conditioner. I might blot off my lip balm and see what this is like. If there's one thing that annoys me about NYX products, it's the seal that comes on it. You're guaranteed to rake an nail. So this lip conditioner, it's got a really soft applicator. It's like spongy. It also says it's got rosehip, almond and jojoba oils to leave the mouth glossy and well conditioned, and it says there's a little tip to put it on before bed. So this is the Bear With Me Radiant Perfecting Primer, and it's got loads of nice little light reflecting pigments in it. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand rather than on my face because you know what I'm like. If the skin on my face was the same as my hand, I'd wear it, but it's textured and it just doesn't look good. But can you see that really beautiful iridescent glow that it's given my hand? See, that's the normal one, but this one's like super glossy. It smells really nice as well. Soft glow to it, almost like candlelight glow. It's really pretty. For skin, I'm going to go in with the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This is a favourite of mine. With sort of slightly textured skin, I find this is my favourite foundation. The shade I'm currently using is 6.5. I'm just going to use my hands to work that into my face. So I've moisturised this morning and I've got sunscreen on. I've also got on my skin the MURAD Oil and Pore Control Mattifier. This is the SPF 45, the new one. I used it in my last tutorial, so if you've not seen it, go and check it out. I love, love, love this product, and more so now that they've brought it out with an SPF 45. The original was SPF 15. It's a great way to keep your skin really matte and shine free if, like me, you're quite oily. I just love the finish of it. Although it's luminous, it's not luminescent in the same way that some foundations are, where they've got those light reflecting pigments, which for me just make the skin texture look so much worse. It's luminous in the sense that it just gives you a healthy kind of finish to the skin. I just really, really love it. I haven't found one that I loved more. My sister really likes this one as well. I normally put on 2 layers for a medium to sort of natural full coverage. So the warmth from your hands just helps to press that product into the skin. So it doesn't look like you've then got makeup sitting on the skin. Instead, it just looks more perfected naturally. Don't forget to also take it down your jaw onto your neck. To give my skin a little bit more coverage, I'm going in with the Born This Way Concealer by Too Faced. I love this one because although it's really good full coverage, it still looks really natural on the skin. It's a kind of matte finish, but it doesn't make your skin look dry and flaky. So I've got Mocha and Almond. I use 2 shades just to adjust between the summer and the winter. So I've got the 2 shades on my palette. I'm going to mix them together and then just conceal any areas that need concealing. So I'm going to take Almond as it is on its own underneath this part of my eyes, just in the very corner and under the tear duct. This is going to be the brightest area, and then I'm going to use a fluffy brush to soften that. So it can look quite stark when you first apply it, but as soon as you start to blend it out, it shears down and looks a lot more natural. So we're just going for a bit of a brightening effect. Synthetic brushes work better with creams and liquid-based products because it doesn't clump in the hair because it's synthetic, and it's also easier to remove. So then I'm adding in a very, very tiny amount of the darker shade. It looks more natural. And then we can just take this down here. And I'm just going to use a sponge to press that in. This is a damp sponge, which I find works best. I'm also going to take a small amount around my nose. And I've got a little bit of pigmentation on my top lip. So I've mixed in a tiny bit more of Mocha to Almond to get more of a shade that matches my foundation. This is just going to neutralise the skin on the lid so it looks a little bit more even with the rest of the face rather than looking thinner. And I always get red in the corners just under here. So I'm knocking that back with a little bit of the concealer as well, and then I'm just going to use my sponge to tap over that. If you find your sponge takes it off your blemishes, you can then go in with a smaller brush and just spot conceal. So I'm going to move on to my brows. Today I'm going to use a new product. This is the Hourglass Arch Micro Sculpting Pencil. I'm going to show you what makes this a little bit different. It's 1.4 mil, so it's really, really small. So this is the thickness of an ordinary brow pencil, and this is the Brow Arch one by Hourglass, and as you can see it's so much thinner. And this one is kind of oval shaped. This will enable you to create hairstroke marks as it's super duper thin and will just give you a really nice realistic effect. And as you'd expect, there's a spoolie on the other end of the pencil. So I have got a few brow tutorials already on my channel, but I thought I would just give you a quick demo of how I use this product. As mentioned, the tip itself is 1.4 mil, and this enables you to create really tiny thin lines. So I always like to outline my brow first across the top and then draw some hair-like strokes coming downwards following the growth direction of my natural hairs. I fill the brow in with a very light application of the pencil first. This gives me the shape, and then to define it I go in with some added pressure and fill in the outer half with more visible hair-like strokes. This is definitely the most precise pencil I've ever used, and the shade I'm using is Ash. Once I've finished with that first light application, I go in with a spoolie to soften any visible lines, and now I'm using the tip of the pencil at an angle to create more defined hair-like strokes. So the formula itself is a smudge-proof formula. It lasts all day, and also it comes in 9 shades. You can see here when I'm adding a bit more pressure, I'm getting more visible stroke lines. And then to set all of that in place, I'm going in with the Hourglass Brow Shaping Gel in clear, and it's got a really quirky dual-sided brush. The idea behind this is that it will apply varying amounts of the clear brow gel to sculpt and define the hairs. Now I've got quite fine brow hairs, but if you've got more coarse or wiry brows, then you might find this brush to be more beneficial. They also do this gel with volumizing fibres in, and it comes in 6 shades. So I've done one brow, and now you can see the before and after. In the week I got this package from Lancôme, and it contained these 2 bronzers and a lipstick, all in this gorgeous nautical packaging. I'm just so in love with it. These ones are glow and bronze. So I've got O2 which is warm and O1 which is light. So they've got varying colours in there just to give you some definition. You can use them on their own with a smaller brush, or you can mix them all together. So I've swirled that around O1, and this is the kind of shade you get mixing them all together. And then I'm just working that in really soft circular motions over the cheekbones and into the hairline. You get so much product in these. I'm just going to go down number 2 with a really light hand to work that around the top of the hairline. And this is just where the sun would naturally hit, so we just want a very subtle warmth to this area. If you haven't set your foundation and you've got a heavy hand, if you just plonk your brush down onto your skin and your foundation has a kind of a sort of tacky damp finish, then the powder is just going to stick to it in one spot, and you're going to end up with a bit of a mess. So use a really light hand, always tap off the excess, and then make sure you work that right into your hairline, especially if, like me, you've got your hair up and over your ears. Set the skin. I'm going to use this Airbrush Flawless Finish powder by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm dipping my sponge into the powder to use that to set underneath the eyes. Rather than using a brush, I want a bit more of an intense payoff with the powder. It only still needs to be light. A brush will kind of dust it on and then sweep it off at the same time. The dampness is kind of pressing them onto the skin, and they're almost working a bit like a cement, the way baking does, but not such an intense version. I'm also taking that over the top of the lid because we've applied concealer over there as well. So this will give more of a mattifying finish, so just apply it in those areas that you don't mind having a matte finish to. If you saw last week's video, I was blown away by the Makeup Academy MURAD Blush Liquid Cream Blushes. Like a dupe for the Glossier Cloud Paint, she went into Superdrug and picked up a couple more. I think there's only one that I haven't got, and they didn't have that one in stock. So these are incredible, and they're only £2.50, and they're actually on offer for £2. Now, I've applied a tiny bit of powder over here, but the majority of this part here doesn't have any powder on apart from bronzer. And if you're very light-handed, you can apply a cream over the top of a powder as long as you've tapped in all the excess with your hands. It works like a sticky pad. It kind of takes off any excess product. And I find that if you use the light hand, you can usually work it over the skin without it caking. It is kind of trial and error, so don't try it for the first time on a day when you're about to leave the house for an important meeting or a special occasion. Rule of thumb is you don't normally apply a cream or a liquid over something that's powdered, but it really does depend on the powder that you're applying it over. It's all kind of trial and error per product. Before I do blush, I'm actually going to do my mascara. I'm going to do the same as in my last tutorial. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Mega Liner underneath to tightline. Then I'm going to go in with my Christian Louboutin mascara. I know it's expensive, but it really is incredible. I explained a little bit more in my last tutorial, so I'm going to do that and come back. Just a little tip when you're doing mascara and you've got nothing like me on your lid and you've only got foundation and you've set it and you don't want to get mascara on it, put a mirror really low down towards your chin, and when you apply your mascara you're looking down into it. That way your lashes and your mascara won't touch your top lid. I'm not sure if I'm going to put mascara on my lower lashes yet. I think I'll put the lippy on first and then see how it looks, but I am going to put a tiny bit of coffee pencil just dabbed over the root of my lower lashes. I just wanted to, it's the same as I did in my last tutorial, but I wanted to share with you these Esam Pinky Puffs. They're tiny little makeup sponges that you pop your little finger in, and it allows you to kind of be up close to where you need to be without pressing on your actual makeup. I use them in my kit all the time on clients. Now I'm going to move on to blush. I'm using the Nude Sticks Nudies Bloom. These are so beautiful, and I'm always going on about how I don't like shine and I don't like highlight on me, but these are really lovely because they kind of reflect the light without it being frosted. It almost kind of diffuses the look of textured skin and stuff, so I really like how they are. They're almost like a balm for your cheeks, but with a touch of colour, and they do set in place, so it stays shiny but it doesn't shift and it lasts most of the day. I'm just going to dab it onto both of these with a clean synthetic brush. So I just like to, very softly as I said, because we have powdered a little bit, very lightly work that in circular motions. So I apply with one brush and then I use a dry brush to pat that into the skin, and I like to use a stipple motion because I don't want to blend it out too far. I want to keep it where it is but press it in. And then again go in with your dry brush and stipple that onto the skin so that it presses it into your skin and it's less visible. The lipstick I'm going to use today is Rainbow Spill by Lisa Eldridge. I had said in my previous tutorial that I will use it. I love the packaging. It's like really satisfying because it's got that magnetic pull. I've only used it once, so I'm going to use it straight from the bullet because it will be more intense. And the NYX lip conditioner is all soaked in now, so I've got nice soft lips. So neon. Pop in a tiny amount of the Lancôme bronzer on my cheekbones, just so it balances with that lip. So that completes today's makeup tutorial. It's a nice, fun, fresh looking one, a little bit different. For me, I love the lip colour. It is incredibly comfortable to wear. Yeah, love it. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. I always love to hear your thoughts on the looks, and again, if you've got any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. It gives me an idea of what you guys want to see and what you're interested in. Please give the tutorial a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Obviously I upload for you guys, I'm not uploading for myself, so just to make sure you guys aren't missing out on the content that I'm making for you, hit the notification bell. Come and follow me over on my social media. Don't forget all the products I've used will be listed and linked in the description bar. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!